For gardeners in the Arklatex, winter may as well be here. We've already had a few nights below freezing, and if you didn't take measures to protect your delicate plants, you may have some die-off come spring. But there's always a bright spot to the holidays when it comes to growing things.
A snowy heron may appreciate in its own way the barrenness of the wintry landscape, but for most of us, it's hard to go without the color and scent of those beautiful blooms of summer. But there is a way to get the same flowery pop indoors.
Narcissus actually can be forced to bloom in the house, and they take about 6 to 8 weeks to bloom.
Julie Rogers of Aikens Nursery explains it's called forcing a bulb. It's a process which uses this small brown bulb's plant energy and tricks it into thinking it's time to grow. With narcissus, you can force them either of two ways. You can place them pointy side up, flat side down in a shallow container with rocks and water. Or you can plant them in soil and start watering.
It doesn't actually matter which one, because when you're forcing something to bloom, it's not living in an environment where it would prefer soil. And so what you're doing is just giving it light, and it grows about this tall, and then it starts to bloom and smells great.
Narcissus are not the only bulbs you can force indoors. Another option is an amaryllis, which produces red, white, or pink flowers about 3 to 4 inches across.
Now when you plant your amaryllis, you can plant to right here. You don't have to bury the whole thing. And you just put that in the little pot.
Amaryllis are best forced in a pot with soil, not in water. At Aikens, they have rows of ready-made amaryllis pot kits just waiting to be chosen as gifts. And while their first flowering will be intense, you can keep them around after the bloom fades.
So you keep them inside, they get their green leaves, and same, 6 to 8 weeks, and then they bloom. And then when they finish blooming, you're going to leave them here in the pot with the green leaves until the last danger of frost, sometime in March or sometime in April, and you're going to plant them in the yard then, and that way the greenery isn't damaged and it doesn't take a little bit longer, and so the next year or two you're going to have a whole colony of amaryllis.
Rogers says you can do the same with your narcissus bulbs, which means they are a gift that will keep on giving year after year.
And one key difference, unlike poinsettias, which are around a lot this time of year, amaryllis and narcissus, if they lose leaves or flowers, it's not dangerous for pets.
Okay.
Whereas poinsettias, I think you have to really watch it and make sure your pets don't get at them.
Interesting. And I love the idea of giving that as a gift, too. You get it, you can immediately start kind of putting your own, getting involved with it, getting it growing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Get that green thumb going.
Yes.
You said you have a black thumb, but that's okay.
Not too bad.